Hi friends, Simit here from informedtrades.com. In this video, we're going to review MarketInOut, a Forex and stocks backtesting and screening tool. So basically, you can screen and backtest strategies in the Forex and equities markets. Key points: screen and backtest tool in one. You can screen and backtest using a wide array of fundamental and technical indicators. So for instance, you can include fundamental data about stocks, such as price-earnings ratio, dividend yield, as well as technical indicators, even price action indicators about whether it's in a pattern of lower highs or higher lows or things like that. There's no fundamental data for the Forex screener and backtesting tool. So for Forex traders, this is a purely technical tool. For stock traders, this is technical and fundamental. There's a great breadth of markets for relatively low price. In addition to Forex and stocks, when I say stocks, we're not just talking about U.S. stocks, which is what's most common in a lot of these screening tools, but in the base package, you get, Canadian stocks, you get London stocks, FTSE, the DAX exchange, a wide array of stock exchanges around the world. And all for relatively low price. The pricing is on a subscription basis. So at a 6-month subscription, I think it's like $24 a month. A 2-year subscription, it comes closer to $15, $16 a month. We have the exact pricing information in the link below. So that's pretty impressive breadth of markets for the price. That's one of the best, in terms of price that it offers. That's one of the best, and breadth of markets, one of the best deals I've seen. And for a lot of traders, it may be worth getting just for that. Now, those are some of the positive elements. In terms of the negative elements, poor usability. I found this application to be a little difficult to use. There are big limitations on the backtest tool. So while it's pretty cool that it has a backtest tool, there are some pretty big limitations. You can really only backtest 1 year at a time. Now, you can select individual years, so you can backtest. You can divide the strategy and see how it would have done in 2006 and see how it would have done in 2007, etc. If you try to do a 10-year period, let's see how the strategy would have done from 2004 to 2014. It's not going to work. It's and for a lot of, if you're really testing a lot of data going back multiple years, decades, you'll probably need a desktop tool. So this is a web-based tool, so it's pretty limited. It's convenient, right? Obviously, it's pretty easy in that regard, but there's some big limitations on the backtest tool. If you're okay with testing out a 1-year sample, which may be interesting or useful in some instances, then this tool will have some value to you. But if you really need a lot of data going back, many years, this tool won't really be that great for you. Overall, my opinion is mixed. I think this has some great merits. Low price, fundamentals and technicals, a lot of markets, and those that may be great for some traders. However, it is daily and weekly, so nothing intraday. The backtest tool is limited, and the usability for me, that was maybe the biggest issue. So overall, I'd say it's mixed. You can try it out, see how it goes. It's going to be right. I think it's going to be useful for some traders, but not so much for a lot of others. So let's take a look at the tool. Here's the website. You can see there's a stock screener. There's also a correlation tool, which I thought was interesting. Take a look at that, and the Forex screener. Okay, stock screener. Quick screener. Before we do that, oh yeah, okay, stock screener. Here we go. Okay, so you can see all the things you can screen against. You can select which specific exchange. You can see the whole list of exchanges. You can see there's quite a few technical indicators here, right? You can Ichiomoku indicators, right? Price action. So I was pretty impressed with the technical nature of this, and I sampled it. I did a quick sampling of it, and I thought it was reasonably accurate. I think the screening on technicals is never going to be 100% perfect, especially with price action. Some of this stuff has an element of subjectivity to it, how you identify support and resistance lines. But overall, I thought it was pretty interesting. There's also fundamental data you can screen for, income per employee, price per sales. I'm a little price over sales. Some of these metrics I'd be a little wary of, especially something like income per employee. Where are they getting that data from? And I bet if other screens that include that data might have different information. A lot of these standard metrics, current ratio, leverage ratio, price cash flow, price book, that's pretty straightforward and probably more consistent across services that probably come straight from corporate filings. Okay, so that's sort of, well, just to illustrate. It probably won't let me run a screen now. I'll try, let's see if it gets prompted. So let's say we want to screen on stocks on the US, NASDAQ, TSX, TSV. Let's see, those are the exchanges we want to screen against. Let's also add Bombay Stock Exchange, London Stock Exchange, so we can screen against a bunch of them. Let's find stocks that are at a new 6-month low. Actually, let's try stocks that are at a new 1-year low. Add criterion. Oh, and this is something I always forget when I'm talking about with its poor tools, where, you know, because I didn't add criterion, the exchanges I picked weren't selected. So now I have to come back here again, click through it. Now, okay, so now it's included. Now if I run screen, I'm not sure if it's going to let me. Oh, gotta do name, screen 1, run screen, nothing. Okay, so that's going to be the case with some instances, but that's basically the idea, and shows, you know, how the tool works. The stock correlation tool, you can sort of put in any stock and find what stocks are correlated to it. So for instance, let's say we want to find, so we have position Apple over the past, let's say we want to calculate 45 days. What's the correlation? Oh, okay, so it's prompting me to sign up. You can see how much you can save, and here's the pricing. It varies. I'm never clear on their, you know, sometimes I've used this tool a bunch, and sometimes it lets me continue sampling this a lot. In other instances, it prompts me real quick to sign up. I'm not sure how it goes, but you can see the basic idea here. You can find stocks that are correlated or aren't correlated or inversely correlated, and the idea here is to help you create a portfolio that is properly diversified. And there's a Forex correlation, tool as well. So if you have a bunch of Forex pairs, you want to make sure, all right, let me make sure that I'm not super correlated. I don't just have a bunch of, you know, if I have an Aussie Canada dollar position on, maybe I don't need an Aussie US dollar position or Aussie Singapore dollar position also on, because they're so highly correlated. So this tool, which I think is pretty interesting, I'm surprised that there aren't more of these types of tools, genuinely valuable for a trader who wants to properly manage their risk to make sure they're not overly correlated. Forex screener, this is a lot like the stock screener that we saw before. You can see, you know, you can screen based on, there's only one key difference is that it's got basically the same technical set, but no fundamental data, right? And you can't screen based on macroeconomic information as well. So it's just Forex pairs. You can specify what types of pairs, you know, whether all or just the majors, dollar pairs, etc. And you can also say a portfolio. That feature is definitely only available for subscribers. Okay, and the backtesting tool, just to illustrate, I don't think it's going to let me run. Let's see if we can. Let's call this strategy 1. Just to give an idea, let's say maybe I want to buy dividend stocks where the yield is greater than 0. I want to buy them when they cross above the 50 simple moving average. Okay. And I will prioritize the positions by highest dividend yield. So if I don't have the capital to put on all the positions that meet these criteria, we'll pick the ones that have the highest dividend yield. And the criteria for closing is simply when price crossed below the 50 simple moving average strategy. Okay, so this is an example, and let's say I want to risk 5%. You can specify, you know, let's say I've put in 5,000 and I want to risk $500 per trade. Back backtest. Yeah, it wouldn't let me see it. Sometimes it might just be, I don't know if they're monitoring by cookies or what have you. I feel like I've tried numerous times. Sometimes it can, sometimes it doesn't let me. But that's an idea of the backtesting tool. The one thing I mentioned before is that you can set the time period, and you can specify years. If you try to do like a custom range that goes from like, 05, it's just the server's not going to be able to handle it. So it's just too much data. Now you could do, if I wanted to test 10 years, I could do 2015, 2014, 2013, etc., and then group that data. But other than that, you're really looking at a 1-year period. It also doesn't include transaction costs, which is very key. But when the output, you can see, all the trades, which ones worked, which ones didn't. And that's interesting from a perspective of, when you look at what did work and what didn't work, you can sort of get a clear idea. Maybe I need to make my position size larger. Maybe I need to make my stop a little tighter. Maybe there was one trade that really wiped out everything, so I should have an even tighter stop. Tweak it, experiment. Maybe if I exit on the 20 moving average and go long with the 50 across above the 50. So it's kind of interesting for that regard. That's sort of about it. Like I mentioned, the tool has some positives and some negatives. So my opinion is that it's mixed. If you're looking for a backtest tool, I encourage you to check it out. Or even if you're not, you may get some different ideas. Sometimes playing around with these tools it triggers something in your own mind. So I would encourage you to check it out for free. And if you think that the tool is for you, give it a shot. Like I mentioned, I'm not 100% sure it's for me. I don't think it's something I would use largely because of the usability and because the limited backtesting. But if you're looking for breadth of markets, a screener for that, it could be for you. That's about it. Any questions you have, any thoughts you have, anything you want to share about your experience in MarketInOut, join us at informedtrades.com. Also, help us out. Like this video on YouTube, share it on Facebook, Google+. And if you want to make a contribution, check out informedtrades.com/donate. Always most appreciated. Best of luck in trading and investing. We'll see you next time. Take care.